I just don't trust anything. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Fight Net Radio. Lee Honish, Andrew Labouche, Miguel Antonio Barragan, bringing you the wonderful world of boxing. We bring it to you each and every week live. You can go to boxingtonight.io. We record on Sundays. We try to get them out during the week. We try to do our very best for you, but we do have regular lives. Once around the horn. How you doing, Andrew?
Very good.
Miguel, how are you?
Doing well, thank you. We're getting up a little bit early, as we like to do for FNR, but doing well, thank you.
Awesome. Please subscribe to boxingtonight.io. There you can follow at FightFiendMigs, at LeeHonish.io. My new channel is blowing up. Not really, but I just thought I'd say it. And of course, follow at Andrew Labouche on all social media. Our major home is on Facebook, where Andrew posts rather prolifically anything he can find and put online. You can also find back episodes of our show, videos, and of course, a fight schedule for the week. With all of that said, let's dive right into it and start with our top story. Andy Ruiz. I'd like to fight Wilder. We're both with PBC. It's easy to make. All right, so let's lay it out. They're setting him up with King Kong. He beats King Kong. And this is Wilder's return fight because he's got credibility in beating a common foe. I start with you, Andrew. Andy Ruiz gets hit. I don't think he's ever been hit by a Wilder. If Wilder comes back and he's 100%. What say you?
We've always liked this fight. This is a great fight for the PBC. This is a great fight for both Wilder and Ruiz. They're pretty big in the PBC audience, so I see their pay-per-view doing really well. As far as the fight, yeah, you're right, Lee. Andy Ruiz probably has never been hit with the right hand as hard as Deontay Wilder's, but let's see what Ruiz looks like in his next fight with Ortiz, because he's a very good inside fighter, and that's something that Wilder isn't. So that's going to be a good matchup. Both guys have their advantages and weaknesses that play against each other to make for a good fight. So I do like this fight a lot if it is to get made, but he still has to get past Luis Ortiz first.
Miguel Antonio Barragan.
Yeah, I like this fight. I mean, we've talked about this several times. This was a good opponent for, and you know, it sucks to consider Ruiz just an opponent, but you know, a good opponent for Wilder to make a comeback, because you know what, Wilder won't get over his own ego and doesn't want just a gimme fight. You know, he wants to fight a name to get those big paydays anyway, which is what he's aiming for. So Ruiz would be that. As far as this fight goes here, I'm looking forward to this one. You know, I do want to see Ruiz win. I do want to see Ruiz against Wilder. We can't count Ortiz out entirely just solely because of his age. Keep in mind that Ruiz's last fight against Arreola, he was dropped, I think, a couple of times, if I'm not mistaken. And granted, this was after like a year and a half layoff, so it won't be exactly the same, but nonetheless, we're talking about when he fought Chris. I think this was May of 2021. So it's sort of the same. I'm not sure how it's going to go. You know, I don't like this like over a year layoff until you come back to the ring kind of deal, and I'm not liking that from Ruiz. I would like to see him more active. If he continues with this trend, it's not going to go well for him if he ends up beating, getting by Ortiz and then getting a fight with Wilder. It's not going to bode well for him if that's how he's going to roll. But nonetheless, as far as this fight goes, I do anticipate Ruiz winning. He did, like as Andrew said, he likes to get inside, and he's a good inside fighter, but to get inside, he does have to cross that most dangerous range first and foremost to get inside. Hopefully, he's still got the spring in his legs. We've seen videos of him, lighter and thinner and whatnot. So it appears as though he's got the spring in his legs to jump in and out as he pleases. I anticipate him winning. I'm not sure how impressive it's going to look because against a guy like Ortiz, it's kind of hard to look good against. But nonetheless, this is one of those fights where it's like, win this one, look good on the next one. So this is an important one for Ruiz. He better win it.
And one thing I got to say about that I want to see them stop doing is their photoshopped workout pics. Did you guys notice in the press conference that him and Ortiz had? Man, Ruiz still looked big. He didn't look all slim. And like they've been posting all these pictures of him looking real slim, and you're like, oh man. And they did it to us last time too. They did it to us last time in the rematch with Joshua. They had him looking a lot skinnier, darn it. And then when the fight came, it was like, wait, the guy's the fattest he's ever fucking been. He literally came in the biggest he ever been after all these pictures. We're showing him looking a lot lighter. So I hope they're not lying to us again with that BS. He's in there training hard. And because look, I swear to God, you guys, I was given tape on Andy Ruiz a long time ago. A friend out here in San Jose was going to invest in his career. I said, I loved everything about this kid. He had the look. I loved his hand speed, his power. I said, why is he so big though? You guys can't get him to lose just a little bit of weight. Like he seems like, and that's been my thing with Andy for a long time, and it hasn't changed. So, yeah, I don't know. The guy just likes to eat, but yeah, stop with even that video the picture Lee had up. I don't believe it. I don't think that was really Andy Ruiz. I think they fucking filtered the shit out of his body.
Clenbuterol. Boo, 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 boo. Gilberto Ramirez. Zuro. Also awkward and or left-handed. I looked that up. I might actually get to interview this guy this week. Vows to absorb Bivol shine from shocking Canelo. All right, let's talk about it. I start with you, Miguel. Can Zuro absorb the shine? What a term. Who wrote this? Staff. Oh, it's a press release. Yeah, I don't like the word shine. That's just weird. Makes me feel like they're autistic or special needs or something. Like, is Zuro good enough for Bivol?
Yes, most definitely. When they say absorb the shine, are they talking about like steal his thunder kind of deal? Is that what it's trying to say?
Yeah, no, that's what I would have went with, but
because like I think that's what he's trying to say. Yeah, he most definitely can. I mean, it does. It's the it's the monkey wrench, right? It's the monkey wrench that that could possibly potentially destroy the plans of Bivol and Canelo rematch. Essentially, what I guess kind of like what Usyk was, when he fought AJ, that basically ended at the time at least the potential AJ and Fury fight. So yes, he most definitely can. He's a big motherfucker. Like if you ever see him, standing next to like someone like Chris Mannix, like he's a big dude, and he's left-handed. That more often than not, southpaws are a little more trickier to fight. So it's gonna be tough. I'm not gonna say Bivol is gonna be an easy. It's gonna be a day in the park by any stretch of the imagination. But I don't know. I haven't watched any of Bivol's like older fights. I'm not sure if he's fought southpaws yet. I mean, I know he's got a good amateur pedigree, so I'm sure at some point in his amateur career he's fought plenty of southpaws. But some with the size and the power that Ramirez has, I'm not too sure. I want to see Bivol. I want to see Bivol can take, a Ramirez shot, and by that, same token, I want to see Ramirez, can take a Bivol shot. So it's definitely an intriguing fight. I hope this fight does go down. The WBA has been pretty shady recently. I guess not just recently, but in general. But so I'm not sure if this fight is actually going to go down or not, which I'm hoping it does. But absolutely, Ramirez absolutely has the possibility to kind of be the spoiler here and steal or absorb Bivol's shine.
ALP.
I'll go a step further and just say flat out, it's the biggest fight in Mexico if he beats Bivol. Come on. If Gilbert Ramirez, the way he's been talking to, it seems like they are going to go after Canelo after this fight, and it's going to be easy. Yeah, it becomes the biggest fight out there. Canelo, of course, has to get past Triple G, but if he does, and Ramirez, gets a win later on, I don't think the fight would be made anytime soon, but it gets a win. Yeah, no, this is huge. It's a huge fight.
There you go. Moving on.
I don't even know. Have we even had a Mexican showdown at 168? Or no, would it be
175?
I don't think so. I mean, not a lot of big Mexican dudes like Ramirez out here.
Well, that was Canelo's angle, right? Being the first Mexican to be the light heavyweight champion.
Now you know where I'm going. If I'm De La Hoya, oh, you like making history? Let's make some history. Why not? Be the first Mexican showdown ever. Let's do this. Yes, that fight is huge, you guys. Yes, it is.
Ali's Rumble in the Jungle WBC belt purchased at auction by NFL owner Irsay for $6.1 million, 6.2 technically. The reason I bring this up, I now understand what the WBC is up to by making fake belts. They're playing the long game, Miguel. They're chasing money on the auction route. What? So let's hypothetically think. What's like the paper mache belt and the they got to be worth something, right?
I mean, according to this, at least. I mean, this. See, I don't know. I mean, this is kind of an
crappy
exception.
belt it was. By the way, back in the 70s,
Yeah.
what a crappy belt that was compared to today.
Oh yeah. I mean, look at it. It just looks like it's some sort of adjustable like slip-on or something. Like I can't even tell it's got a buckle on this shit. But yeah, I mean, is that the have we been like totally blinded by this? You know, this whole time, like we didn't realize it was going to be the long play.
Well, I think what's funniest about this, and maybe I'm the only one to notice it, it's sponsored by Adidas on the belt.
Yeah.
How shameless are they?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Start something, man. Come on now.
Would you pay $6 million for the Rumble in the Jungle belt? Let's say you won the lottery on Saturday.
If I'm a billionaire, yeah, that might be something that would, you know, every guy has. I think every rich man has a man cave, right? They all have their little sports area. Yeah, that would be a nice thing to put on there if it's not affecting the bank account. Yes, sir.
Are you saying that you have man cave things, Andrew?
Oh, I definitely. Oh, yeah. No, there was a time, Lee, when there was only one child and 3 bedrooms or 4 bedrooms or wherever we were living. Yeah, there was a time, but those days are gone. They're all in boxes now in my garage. Hopefully, the weather has faded all the pictures, torn off all the autographs, but because that happened. When I used to go, I used to have everybody that I seen sign the front of the whatever program of whatever fight that I was at. Had a lot of signatures. We were like, oh, this is going to be worth something. Fucking went out there one day, leaked. The fucking signatures were all fading away.
Fading and warped.
Off. Yeah, what the fuck?
Miguel, what's your fetish? Wow, this is turning into a fetish moment. What's your fetish, Miguel?
Gloves. Gloves was my fetish for a hot minute. Like, you know, back in the day.
They're so hard to keep. Oh my God, they're so bulky.
But it wasn't even just that; it was MMA gloves too. Like, cause I've been a fan of MMA since like fucking the late '90s. So like for every time a small MMA organization came up and they would use a certain kind of gloves, I would like email the promoter and I'm like, hey, do you guys have any spare gloves? I'll buy off you. And I was like, yeah, sure, $50. So they'll like send me gloves. So I had like seriously like 45 gloves, like different brands of like gloves and different MMA gloves and boxing gloves as well, of course. But just the smell of the leather, I'm like, oh, this smells so fucking good. That was kind of my fetish for a hot minute. I had like a huge collection of gloves.
Bro, hey, what the hell did he just say, Lee?
Yeah, no, I know. And I'm trying really hard to keep the show upscale, right? Because we got bigger audiences these days.
I didn't say use gloves.
I am picturing him in bed rolling around naked.
They were
talking to his BFF. Hey, hold on, let me lay the scene out. This is literally going to be like I got crapped on segment. I picture him in bed naked, smelling a glove, texting his BFF, and just kind of squiggling about on like satin sheets in some kind of dream sequence.
You're excited about the super fight, eh? Those are only on nights when
for everybody.
Yeah, that's when I pull out the camera like Buffalo Bill and fucking Silence of the Lambs and shit.
That brings up something really interesting. I've got a brand new scam, so keep an eye out for this, Miguel, especially you. There's a new scam going around where somebody is blackmailing me because apparently I sit in front of the computer and masturbate with my camera on. And as I looked at it, I go, yeah, that doesn't happen. I mean, what a great scam, though.
Oh, jeez.
Well, they're playing the odds. Yeah, go ahead.
Can I bring the story to an end by saying it is a smart move by Suleiman to be with all the woke celebrities, YouTubers, rap artists. This guy has made belts for everything. Put them on big fights, big names behind them. It's possible that there is a day the Tyson Fury Wilder belt will go up for big money. There is possibly a day Cotto versus, I don't know, who did he fight? Was it Martinez? They had a special belt made for it. Like all the big fights that they put these names. Canelo had a few.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know what, you guys? If the WBC is getting anything from it, smart move.
Actually, I'm going to bring it back around. Look at those buckles on the side and the sponsorship at the bottom. Note to Suleiman Jr. Start sponsoring your belt again. Extra cash. I don't know. Crypto.com. Amazon.
No,
Amazon.
You make me a billionaire. I'm buying a Chavez belt. Yes, sir.
Moving forward.
Lee.
Joshua, I saw a lot of coaches before selecting new trainer. Robert Garcia was the standout. Wow. Who did you interview? Cab drivers? I mean, we've well documented this. There is nothing Robert Garcia can do to change Anthony Joshua's game. In fact, I'm still kind of shocked by his selection as a new trainer. I'll start with you this time, Miguel. Who could he have seen that Robert Garcia was the standout? I mean, sure, how did he not go to Kronk's gym? How did he not go to Kronk's gym? How did he not go to Kronk's gym? I'll keep saying it. Go ahead.
I think my question is, what did he see in Garcia that made him stand out to begin with? Like what was
Good
it?
food.
Like
you know what? He barbecues well. He barbecues really well after practice. I mean, he's got a pollo asado that is just to die for what I hear. That's what I hear.
That would do it. That would do it.
And they tossed in a Mitsubishi, and
right.
you know,
yes,
he's got that going for him.
Oxnard Mitsubishi or whatever the fuck.
Oh my god.
I'm not too sure. I mean, I really don't know what the hell he saw in him to begin with, as far as like, because we've mentioned this before. We're not quite sure what exactly Robert Garcia's style is. We don't necessarily see it in his boxers, but I mean, like how many what we saw videos and clips of him at different gyms. I just don't remember which ones right offhand. But I mean, damn, really, how realistically, how many did he? You know, let's scroll down and see what the hell he's got to say.
I figured it out before I even look. I think he called people. He didn't get a return phone call, right? Like he called Goosen, he didn't pick up, right? I called Kronk's gym. Nobody picked up at Kronk's. I think they're closed. Texas, Fresno, L.A. All right, I don't know what the hell's in Fresno. I can think of a few people in Texas. I do not see Detroit. L.A. Do you mean you saw Freddie? Question mark?
Roach.
And you're going to say that Freddie... Oh, that's smoking crack, bro. You were on an ayahuasca trip. I'd take Freddie Roach any day, even in his twitchy state. I saw a lot of coaches everywhere before choosing my new trainer, and there were coaches that I didn't get to see. No shit, Sherlock.
No way Freddie Roach could train Anthony Joshua at this state that he's in right now.
No, I think he's broken. I think he's going to fight whatever.
6'9". Right?
Yeah.
He's 6'9", or 6'7", I don't know, you know, whatever. He's 6 something really big. He's gonna knock fucking holes through Freddie Roach. Freddie Roach would be knocked down almost every camp. He couldn't do it.
Well, he'd have to get like Blue Boy or something, or some motherfucker to be able to take a
Blue
shot.
Boy.
Yeah,
exactly.
Boo Boy. That's who he called. You know what? Robert Garcia is better than Boo Boy.
Freddie Roach couldn't take that at this age. On them, not a good fit. They had Andy Ruiz.
Who's in Fresno, Andrew? What trainers are in Fresno?
No one that's better than Robert Garcia when you're talking about who's in Fresno. If you don't know him, then he's not better than Robert Garcia.
No shit, right?
So then you have to see, you know, he just went with what was there. You know, Robert, I think you're right. I can't recall in my head a heavyweight that the Oxnard has put out. So this is a new thing for Robert too. He's training someone much bigger than he's ever faced before. Or had to train before, excuse me. So yeah, there's a lot of new territory going on here. We won't see what happens until, unfortunately, he fights the guy that just outboxed him, Usyk. So not only does he have to learn Robert Garcia's style, his ways, Robert's got to adapt to him. They also got to figure out a game plan to beat one of the best boxers in the heavyweight division right now in Usyk. So yeah,
Andrew, but he was the standout. Robert Garcia is a bad boy coach. I like to spank him after practice. All these heavyweights are training because they want to take what you have. So you have to train like you haven't got anything. Okay. As a fighter, it's important to stay in the gym all year round. And I've known the fighter I'm fighting. So the approach to the fight has been leading towards the date. When I turned pro, I did my first training camps with Eddie in Eddie's back garden. Yes, I was picking cotton. That's where I started. Then I moved to Tony Sims' gym for probably the first 2 or 3 fights. And then after that, I was allowed to train in Sheffield. I've been a pro for 9 years. So for about 7 or 8 years, I've been in Sheffield. And this is my first time training out of there, but for 11 years. I train with Rob McCracken. All right, there you go. It's because he's the bad boy coach, Miguel. He doesn't really give any other reason.
Okay. I mean, I don't know. Bad boy is the last thing that crosses my mind when I see Joshua.
And
I'm sure he fits in there.
Or Garcia.
It's not. Garcia's peak has really passed as a trainer, right? When you really think about Garcia's coming out party, it was when he had Victor Ortiz. It was when he was training Nonito on one of his first comebacks.
Or Brandon Rios.
Yeah. You know, these guys, some of these dudes are retired, about to retire. Really has stalled out since then. Just been floating around. This Joshua Usyk fight is really big for Garcia because it's kind of his trying to get back to the top. You know, with the big boys, he beats Usyk and he's going into one of the biggest heavyweight fights, obviously the biggest fight in London. So it's a big fight for Garcia, but yeah, haven't really seen him do too much lately with any of the young talent he has at Oxnard or anybody coming through his gym to give me any kind of confidence that he's going to be able to change Joshua in this short period of time.
I wonder if he did go see Goosen and Goosen went, no.
Could be a C connection thing there too, Lee, where Al Heyman told Goosen no. Yeah, I don't know what kind of contract Goosen has, but he's affiliated with PBC, who holds Wilder. If Joshua is tied up contract-wise with DAZN, maybe Al Heyman told him no. You know, don't help the enemy.
Ooh, Papa Heyman, don't bite the hand that feeds you. Interesting. I feel bad that Joshua is going to lose twice, but, you know, not my problem. It just furthers the legend of Robert Garcia being a shrug in boxing history. I would argue that his current trainers are better. Go ahead, Andrew.
I just said I still think Joshua Wilder will sell. Even if you have Usyk beat Joshua again, that would be Joshua's third loss. He's definitely coming in at a cheap price, but because of his size and just him being from London and Wilder being from America and them having their backstory, I still think that fight sells. So if I'm Wilder, I'm very interested in Joshua, even if he loses the Usyk, get past Ruiz, and there's another potential decent pay-per-view there for the PBC. If Joshua loses the Usyk, if he wins, obviously we know where they're going is Tyson Fury.
I would argue that Robert McCracken is a better coach than Robert Garcia. Sorry, he won the belt under him. You were just, it's a good argument.
Yeah.
Strong argument. Moving on. Shakur Stevenson versus Robson Conceição. You want to take a stab at it, Miguel?
Conceição?
Yeah, I rest my case, Your Honor.
Something.
I rest my case. This is in a couple of weeks. No, it's September 23rd. There we go. Friday, September 23rd, Prudential Center. It was great of them to post the amazing card. Joining us on the show, because he hasn't been here in a week, barely. Top Rank Bob. Bob, what are your comments? The sensational Shakur Stevenson is once again in a generation boxing talent, and he's back home in Newark. I hate Newark. It smells like a dump. You think New Jersey stinks? Newark stinks way more. I think it's got an airport or something. I don't go there. They'll steal your shoes. As world champion against a worthy contender in Robson, whatever the F his last name is. I mean, don't sleep on him. Don't sleep on that talent. I mean, I have. I slept through the video that they sent. But, you know, I also can't wait to see young talent like Keyshawn Davis Write that down. Keyshawn Davis and Bruce Carrington. Sure, you've never heard of them. They were driving cabs in Newark. All right, that one made me laugh. Sometimes my humor does make me laugh. We're at the Prudential Center, where you can also get home and life insurance. It's incredibly proud to partner once again with ESPN. You know, that streaming thing on the computer thing that I don't know how to make work. That's why I go to the live fights. So don't sleep on this undercard. Get your tickets today. Thank you, Bob. Inspired. Wow. So they're booking Newark just on Shakur. Is Shakur strong enough, Andrew, to carry a fight that has no undercard to speak of? As he fights a 17-1 with 8 KO, Brazil's first Olympic gold medalist. Hey, that's kind of impressive. Is it going to sell, Andrew? Or is Shakur getting the COVID?
No, Top Rank. They don't have too many COVID cases. So no, I think Shakur Stevenson will sell out fine. Is it the big place, or is it the?
I don't know how big is the
Prudential Center's pretty big. Like the UFC's had
Prudential Center's big.
There. It's like a legit arena. I don't know. I'm gonna say a little bit bigger than the MGM, maybe like Mandalay Bay kind of size.
All right.
Like 17 grand.
Let's research. So you say yay, he can sell it, Andrew.
Yeah, $50 tickets, Lee. Yeah, I think that's very doable to see Shakur Stevenson. Yes.
What says you, Miguel? Other than I think that was some inspired comedy I wrote right there.
It is very inspirational. Yes.
19,000 seats. That's
geez, wow.
That's a big room.
Well, I mean, but like Andrew said, as long as they're like relatively cheap, because the fight's going to take place in September, which is also going to be the same month that Canelo fights Triple G for the third time. So, I mean, if people are going to want to, fork up tickets, I mean, I know it's a different city, but still, it's like, I don't know if he's going to want to try to test that out and see if he can sell at this fucking arena with expensive tickets. I mean, the fight itself is pretty. Granted, Robson or Hobson, however you pronounce his name, it doesn't have a lot of KOs, but he is a gold medalist, and his only loss is to Oscar Valdez, which is arguably he could have won. It just for some reason he took the foot off the gas pedal towards the latter half of the fight. So he may very well have won that fight with Valdez had he continued. So I mean the dude's no slouch, So I'm not sure if the casual fans or Shakur's fans are aware of this. I'm not sure. I'm sure that's not the reason people are going to buy tickets. It's going to be specifically for Shakur. But damn, I don't know. I don't know if he can sell 19. I mean, it'll be pretty close. Even if the tickets are relatively cheap, I'm not sure if he can sell out 19,000 now.
Joining us once again on the show is Top Rank Bob. What did you want, Bob? You had your segment. Listen, Manuel, why'd you call him Hobson instead of Robson? What the hell is that? It's Robson. Concau. Or whatever. Why'd you call him Hobson?
It's because he's Brazilian.
What the hell does that have to do with anything? By the way, good humor on my part to pick up on Miguel actually getting the Brazilian right. Again, I hate to explain the jokes to the rest of you, but and yes, our Bob is a racist. We've already established that. And ask Terrence Crawford. Go ahead, Andrew.
This is the young man Robson. He took on Oscar Valdez, and lost a close decision, 115-112 on 2 scorecards, where they had taken a point away from Robson late in that fight for a hit that many believed should not have been a point deduction. He was undefeated at that time. So it's a good opponent for Stevenson's return here. This is not a slouch. Many of the New York bigger boxing fan base than the West Coast. So with them knowing Stevenson, him being from out there, this being a valid opponent, I think this fight is going to do fine. Sellout, yeah, I'll agree with Miguel on a sellout, but doesn't mean that 12,000, 14,000 won't show up, and that is an awesome turnout for Stevenson's first fight back from the Oscar Valdez showdown.
Yeah, he's definitely like a double, maybe a triple. Listen to what Andrea has to say. She's got it right.
Dick.
Tevin Farmer versus Mickey Bay, looking for a new date, is moving.
This fight. Oh my
The
God,
what?
Lee's the only one who loves this fight.
Oh, I'll tell you why I love this. All right, there's two things going on. Any chance I could talk about Tevin Farmer and his eyes pointing in the wrong direction, number one. Number two, if you're wondering, hey, Lee, where's Prescott, Arizona? And my answer would be exactly. This fight is so unwatchable that it's now in Prescott, Arizona. Probably at an Indian reservation under a rock, and God knows. Look at the undercard.
No, weren't they going to like Africa first? Where was this fight?
Oh yeah, no, they were fighting in that was the original location. Nobody wanted it there.
Somewhere crazy, man. At least it's back in America.
his off eye caught a hold of where the location was, and he went, "That's too far." All right, I got all my eye jokes in. We'll move on. Josh Taylor, Jack Catterall rematch likely to take place November 26th in Glasgow. Let's face reality. Nobody really wants to see these two guys fight again. However, the English do. I don't know why, but they do. I guess the question is, since they're going to rematch, I'll start with you, Andrew. Is there going to be any difference in the outcome of this fight?
No, listen, who knows? No, I can't say no for a fact. It was a very close fight. Catterall needs to keep his foot on the pedal. He can't back off at the end. Maybe that the outcome's different. So I like this. I like that Taylor's going back to this fight. This is huge for him if he wins this on his career and his legendary status out there. Well, you are right that the casuals in America do not care about this rematch. The diehards do. So when you put that it's going to be one of the biggest rematches ever out for them out there, because there was a lot of people that were into this fight, mixed in with all the diehards in America, which is about 1 million views. I think they'll get 1 million views here in America. Watching
ESPN Plus, it's a good Saturday night or afternoon or 4 a.m. in the morning or wherever the hell you have to. Like it's like 9 a.m. or something stupid to watch these fights. But yeah, all right, yeah, I don't disagree, Andrew. Miguel.
Yeah, I'm digging the fact that we're going to see this one again. So yes, this is more like for us kind of fights. I mean, I'm sure people have already forgotten who the hell Catterall was, so they're just like, okay, I guess Taylor's fighting this other dude. But
it's a different Catterall. It's his twin.
Yeah, right. So yeah, I mean, like, this is most likely going to be like early in the morning here, Pacific Standard Time, which I'm okay with. I don't mind, especially if there's like another fight later on that night. I don't have to watch, multiple screens at once. I'm hoping that Taylor doesn't take this one, lightly. I hope this one is, he takes a little bit more legit and he shows why he's, the number 140 in the world. My only thing is with the fact that he's going to Glasgow. He's Scottish, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I kind of feel like he's kind of going in that direction, or I think he's going in that direction where like I can take it easy and I'll most likely get the the home cooked decision. So I feel for Catterall, if he didn't get the fucking decision the first time, I'm not sure if he's going to get it the second time, even if it's the exact same result or the exact same fight. If the fight goes down exactly the same as the first one, I definitely don't think he's gonna come away with the victory. Talking about Catterall here, so he's gonna have to do something super or like extra to be able to come away with the belt. Like he has to win the rounds convincingly, even drop. I don't remember if he dropped Taylor in that first fight. I think he did, right? I don't remember, but anyway. Make it
early. I thought, didn't he catch him early?
Yes.
I want to say one of those, and even with that, it wasn't enough to to get the victory. So in Glasgow, I'm kind of skeptical, but nonetheless, I'm gonna watch because this is an intriguing fight. We as soon as the fight ended, we all called for it. Fucking Catterall for like months afterwards was all over his own social media talking about this and this and that, and he coming up with reasons why there should be a rematch. The fact that this is going down is a good thing. I like it. We can get this settled down, settled once and for all. So I'm hyped for it. I don't rather not want to wait until fucking November for the fight, but whatever, we're gonna get it, so I can't be too bitchy.
ESPN would be smart to try to put this first fight after some NFL games. I think they do. ESPN does a Sunday night game or the Thursday night game this year. Lee, good
question. I don't know. I think I want to say it's Sunday night.
Yeah, they used to be Sunday night all the time. So they would be smart to maybe put on the first fight, give it some big plugs as the fight of the year, the controversy, all this stuff, and try to maximize their views because the first fight is that good. It's so good that I think it would get people to go, "What? This is next Saturday? I'll watch it." If they keep plugging it after some NFL games while their views are at their highest.
There you go. Moving forward. Yeah, the only reason I bring up Pro Bellum is they're suing people. Gee, there's a shocker out of such a esteemed company that is run by Richard Schaefer. It's only taken his company less than a year to already want to sue people. Why is Richard Schaefer still in boxing, Andrew?
I don't know, but that's you know what, Lee? You have what is the company? MGK?
Oh,
MTK. Well, no, they went out of business because they had gangsters running it, which I called a long time ago, but far be it from me.
Richard Schaefer's company would never get off the ground. That was my greatest call. Yeah, fuck him. I told you this fucking guy was a snake, man. Yeah, I don't know. Would you want to sue? I don't know if I would sue anybody attached to this case, man. You might be found in the fucking trunk of a car or maybe at Lake Mead. Hey, they would take them to Lake Mead, I guess. And
then they'll find you in a couple of days. Yeah, sure. Yeah, it's not a good spot. You need something deeper. Maybe Lake Michigan or something. Miguel, you surprised that it's taken less than a year for Richard Schaefer to sue somebody?
I'm surprised it's taken less than a year for them to be sued for some fucking reason.
They don't sign anybody. They sign crap. I mean, I get all their press releases and they are spectacular crap. Oh my God.
They sign B guys. They sign opponents. It's like, all right, you can be a good opponent at some point in the future for another superstar. That's what they basically sign. What I don't know what's an injunction. What the fuck is that?
An injunction?
I don't know injunction.
An injunction, that's where you stop someone. It sounds just sort of like what it means. Yeah, you're stopping them. So I don't really care he's involved sanctions with the MTK and there's all kinds of crazy crap going on and he wants money out of the MTK. He's out of his mind. Like they'll put him in a body bag.
You know, it's funny. Would it be funny if it's the mob that's suing people and they win? It's the boss that's suing everyone. Like, all right, well, now we know why there's lawsuits involved. It's the guy. It's him that's suing. So I don't know who's suing who, but yeah, if you're not a part of whatever mob that was attached to this, I would stay the fuck away from this case.
All right, I'm going on my Deadpool and putting Richard Schaefer up much higher. Oh yeah. Joet Gonzalez wants a Dogbo rematch. We don't.
Yeah,
None of us. Wait, hold on. Manager will make the request to the WBC. I realize, what a great competitive fight. Was it?
It was. Yeah, it was a competitive fight. I did think Gonzalez pulled away with the victory. I think he did.
I agree. I agree with you.
Yeah, but they're both B-level fighters.
They are. But I mean, but look, what's the alternative? Well, actually, hold on. I said WBC. Never mind. I was thinking about WBO. I thought, what's his name? Dogboy put himself in line for another Navarrete ass whipping. But this is WBC, so it's somebody else. This is who would it be? Ray Vargas, I think. I would love to see Ray Vargas against either one of these guys.
I don't want to watch Isaac Dogboy against anybody, to be perfectly honest. Andrew, are you excited?
No, I wouldn't come back. Listen, it was a good fight, but I don't know if I come back for the rematch. It's just one of those, like you said, level 2B level guys. They should just move on. Both of them, they were exciting. It was a good fight. If they can't get, another fight off of this performance, that's kind of sad on their part. But I don't think they need to bring this one back.
There you go. Moving forward. New book fills in for those who missed the boat on Christy Martin. Can I summarize the book? She fought a lot of women who should never have been fighting in the first place. The end. How'd I do, Andrew?
I know that.
She literally looked like she was
$1 million.
Yeah,
for $1 million.
That's gonna be Floyd Mayweather's book too. It actually fits him better than Christy, but all right.
She didn't look bad for her age. I mean, I guess. I don't know. Ugh. Whoever buys that book, please tell me the punchline to the book. This is where I need you guys to comment or send us a note. Yeah, I bought the book. I read it. Oh my God, I didn't know that about Christy. She was really worried about that housewife from Ohio in her 4th fight. Okay, there were no fighters, female fighters back then. I think there were like 10 women in the entire division. It's Miguel, I'm not being a
like
jerk.
2 or 3 that took it actually seriously, you know?
Yes.
Everyone else
And
was
they
like,
all look. There was one fight. This is a true story. I watched one Christy Martin fight, and it looked a lot like my mom. And if she wasn't in the other room, I might have thought it was my mom. And I kept thinking, this is actually kind of awful. This is what it would look like to watch my mom get beat up. I mean,
and Lee, let me clear that up because I don't want anyone to be thinking I'm knocking the old women fighters. It's their fault because of what Lee just said. There was too many times on these pay-per-view events, Christy Martin was fighting some woman from a bar. This lady did not. She was training every day. She didn't look like she took the shit serious. And then she'd get knocked out in some ugly MMA-like hands in the air, never move your head, deer in headlights bullshit. And yeah, it was cool to be like, damn, she just hit her with the huge right hand. But really, you seen it when they walked out. You seen it when the matchup was made. So that's not our fault that we're clowning it. There was not too many matchups where you're like, damn, who's going to win this fight?
Well, you know what that means, gentlemen. We need to bring back the long-standing segment of can she knock Lee out without spilling her beer? With our special guest today, Christy Martin, promoting her new book. Thanks for joining us, Christy. Here's the game for those of you playing along or driving in a car. Pull out your favorite beverage. I prefer anything above 100 proof for this game. If you fail, it's 1 or 2 shots, depending on how the boys vote. The boys' vote is final, and that's what would actually happen. Here's how it works. Christy Martin is standing in line at the MGM. I bump into her and I go, hey, beat up any old ladies lately? She spills her beer. She turns. I'm going to let her use her right hand because that was her punch. She turns without missing a beat and cracks me on the chin, Andrew. What say you? Does she, number 1, knock me down and or out? Number 2, does she spill her beer?
Yeah, unfortunately, Lee, Christy Martin, you're better than the opponents that she faced, but you're just a little bit, just a little. So I think the punch still lands, and you're gonna get knocked down, but not out. But you definitely respect her after that.
Does she spill her beer?
Oh yeah, because she used to go all in. Yeah, Christy Martin's right hand, it was looping, it was coming. So yeah, I think her beer does get spilt on it.
Miguel.
Well, let me see. I'm gonna have to assume that you, Lee, can take a shot better than a divorced soccer mom.
I didn't put it on my
in the
temple.
ring.
If this was on my temple, it would be different. All right, I'm giving her my chin.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
If you give her chin, you can definitely take a shot better than some divorced soccer mom that she, her opponents that she's had. So I'm gonna say yes, you can take her shot. Yeah, even at this age, because she's not exactly a spring chicken herself. And she most definitely spills her beer. In fact, she drops the whole fucking beer. But she does not knock you out.
So for those playing along, please take your shots accordingly. I would say this. I don't know what her accuracy is like, but if she catches me up higher, more closer to the ear instead of on the chin, I like my chances here of taking that punch. I'm just being perfectly honest based on my history.
I wonder how hard a woman boxer puts into a man who disrespects her. Because we're not fighters, right? It's not like we're professional boxers. You going, shut up, bitch. I wonder how hard they hit you. They'd probably break your jaw right off. Huh?
I keep qualifying this because there's video of it. There are 2 heavyweights that have popped me, one in the stomach and one at the side of the temple. The one on the side of the temple took me to one knee. I never went down, Andrew, to the shot to the gut.
I hear you and all that, but you're talking knuckles. You're talking,
If she's got a ring, that would really suck. I mean, that ring would hurt. Yeah. That would hurt. And I don't know if I would not want the. I don't know if I wouldn't want the selfie afterwards.
You have no mouthpiece in.
No.
Right? There's a lot of things playing into effect here. Getting punched in the bar by a professional fighter, especially one Christy Martin. Like I said, that right hand She put everything into that thing. She didn't have to worry about it. The lady wasn't moving her head on the other side most of the time.
Yeah.
No.
It was
And my answer is, where is MGM security? Why is this woman hitting me? I just
woman,
bumped into her, for God's sake.
She looks like a dude. They'd be like, why is this guy whooping this other guy's ass? look at how short her hair is. Yeah, she look.
Well, the turtleneck is not helping her. Oh, there you go. Brought it back. Aram on Spence Crawford. I don't know how it gets done without somebody wanting to subsidize the fight. Good God. Finally, someone said it. Let's turn now to our intrepid reporter, Top Rank Bob, to get his own words. Same problem. It's a big fight. It has tremendous interest for people who follow boxing, and that's it. I mean, let's be honest. They got to follow boxing. But that doesn't necessarily translate into revenue from pay-per-view, which is the biggest source because of piracy. You fucking pirates. The fighters realize, I fight pirates all the time. I see them. I see them out in front of Top Rank. They show up in their ship. They jump out. They got swords. They try to take over. I think they're led by Richard Schaefer. The fighters realize how big a fight is, and they want to get paid big amounts of money. And the promoters, in this case, PBC, in this case, Al Heyman, has to look at it and say, hey, we'll put it on. We'll give you guys nice guarantees. But you have to be willing to live with the upside, which the fighters realize now probably will not develop. Again, unless somebody wants to subsidize the fight, that fight, I don't know how it gets done. Can I talk about pirates some more? I'm very scared of pirates. I have bad dreams about pirates.
To me, Lee, that whole piracy thing is just he's just saving potential work with the two fighters down the road. He wants to blame them both. Listen, it's that we don't care about guys stealing fights when it's a huge fight. If a fight's been being streamed illegally since the thing started, if it's a huge fight, you're gonna make money, and bars are gonna make money, and closed circuit, which is the biggest playing factor to these pay-per-views making money, is the closed circuit side. It is not. Home sales are great. Closed circuit is better. They're getting big money from these bars, these bars that can pack these things to the full house capacity. They're paying big money to get these fights. So if you can't sell it to the bars and the closed circuit side, most of the time this fight will not get made. Unfortunately, those two names don't hold water outside of their home states. It's just reality. They've done a lot. Terrence Crawford at one time was hot. He is no longer that guy. He has now looked like the bastard child of the welterweight division. And Spence just hasn't, with the car accident, the whole fumble of the Pacquiao fight was really supposed to bring Spence out. That was his coming out party. That was his Mayweather versus fucking De La Hoya moment right there. And he lost it. He lost it because, unfortunately, the man couldn't stay out of the wheel drunk. DUI. You young fans, you young boxers really need to pay attention to what happened to Earl Spence there. He fucking blew it. Like that mistake he did in that Lamborghini not only costed him the Pacquiao fight, it's costing him the Crawford fight too. Because if he was the Floyd Mayweather, if he beats Pacquiao, if he knocks out Pacquiao and is the Floyd Mayweather now of boxing, they don't need Terrence Crawford to make everyone money. Terrence would have been a bonus to already the house name of American boxing. So he blew it on that side, and you guys all need to take a lesson of that. Do not drink and drive. Do not jeopardize your shit. I'm going to say this again. You're going to hear me echo this when I talk about the main event of last night.
Well, and I want to go one step further. If Terrence Crawford doesn't fight soon, he's an afterthought.
Yep.
Miguel.
Yeah, very soon, because we're legitimately forgetting about him. Like I go like on my Instagram feed, right, and I'm getting these funny memes of like breaking news: the fight still hasn't been made, like shit like that, right? It's just like, okay, this is becoming a joke, right? I mean, I'm sure it's been a joke for some time already at this point, but I mean, Aram knows what he's talking about. If someone else doesn't come in to try to subsidize this fight, these guys need to legitimately check their fucking egos at the door, and to be more honest, Crawford in particular, because we yes, Spence is the unified champ, right? He's got more of the belts. He's got a little bit more leverage, a little bit more bargaining power. So it's really more so Crawford that needs to check his fucking ego at the door and understand that, he's not the superstar that he legitimately thinks he is. Like, this guy is so convinced that he is the man, and from other times that we've gone back and forth about who's ducking who, and the times that we pointed the finger at Spence and PBC, like at this point, it's like, okay, if we're going to point the finger, so be it. But you do realize that you're not the fucking star that you think you are. You're going to have to take less money or less money than Spence or less money in general to get the fucking fight made, because I mean, have you seen Errol Spence's tweets or his thing? Like, he's basically clowning us, fans and the media, basically, for like, y'all get a fucking life, stop talking about this fight already. It seems like Errol himself is already over this shit. So at this point, like,
it's turning into Pacquiao Mayweather is what it's turning into.
And the thing is, it's not even deserving of that. Like, with Mayweather and Pacquiao was a big fucking deal. Like, even when it did happen, and granted, it wasn't the same, because it didn't happen, 4 or 5 years prior. But this doesn't even it doesn't even merit that. Like, we're using that as an example as far as like going back and forth. But these guys are not even close to the superstardom that those motherfuckers were. So I mean, the fact that we're even comparing it is a little silly. But as an example, the going back and forth part is the part that's pissing me off, really. But nonetheless, to echo what you said, if Crawford doesn't get in the fight in the ring soon, he's really going to be just like, oh shit, he's a has-been already at this point. He's as young as he is still, like, not boxing terms, but in general, it's like, man, we're legitimately forgetting about him if he doesn't get in the ring back soon.
Let's point out, like the Mayweather-Pacquiao situation, which I totally agree with Miguel, it's our fault for comparing them to that fight that made them with these egos. We have to remember that this story does have different chapters. And the first chapter was that Spence was avoiding Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford went to that division, the undefeated, 2-time undisputed, pound-for-pound ranked fighter who beat Jeff Horn, who not only beat Jeff Horn, who had beaten Manny Pacquiao already, he knocked him out. Spence, from that moment until, I don't know, a year ago, maybe, he is the one avoiding Terrence fucking Crawford. I will always argue that for Terrence. But Terrence's biggest flaw was he gave up Top Rank. He gave up his fucking leverage. I don't know who he was talking to, but that was his fucking biggest downfall, was when you gave up ESPN and Top Rank. You don't want these guys backing you? Are you fucking serious? You went over there and tried to negotiate a deal on your own. You still haven't struck a deal with Al Heyman. Al Heyman's stuck in a bind because he can't pay you that much, because then he has to pay Spence equal, if not more. If he was to beat you, Spence is not coming in at the same price. Dumb move on Terrence Crawford's side, and that's where this switches. And then you want to call racism, try to sue Bob Arum to burn your fucking bridge even more? Who do you have backing you? Dumb. Whoever you're listening to, you need to tell that motherfucker to leave the room the next time you're talking business.
Pirates. He was talking to pirates. Arr.
Tell me it's stupid, though, Lee. Tell me.
It's all stupid. Look,
Lee,
it's all stupid.
Lee, Bob Arum would have went to Top Rank, and he would have went to ESPN and said, look, I just struck a deal with the next face of boxing. Please, the ESPN writes that check. They write it because Top Rank has the credibility of that. They go into the match with Spence, just like they put Tyson Fury on the line against Wilder. Who came out the winner there?
There you go. Moving forward. Hey, Cambosos on Lopez's response to loss. Take it like a man, bitch. Bounce back and stop being a bitch. I just wanted to read the headline. Good for you, Ferocious. I mean, the fact that you have a condom, logo for Ferocious promotion, that you've actually got the Trojan logo, which has been established as a condom. You are a condom, Cambosos. I mean, I'm just going to be good for you. Are they going to run this fight back, Miguel?
Kambosos and Lopez.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I don't think so. I mean, I anticipate Kambosos, going for that rematch or trying to get that rematch with
Why
Devin
should
Haney.
he?
Well, I mean, it's
Already-
contractual. I mean, it's in the contract, right? So of course,
It's
whether or
already-
not he legitimate, what was that?
The rematch is already signed. Remember,
Is
they've
it?
already announced it.
Oh, there we
Okay.
go. See, so yeah, so I mean, and Lopez already moved up to 140 by this point, and he's not. I definitely agree with Kambosos here. It's like, dude, okay, you fucking lost, you're right, and we can say whatever the reasons were. I believe they went over it a couple of times with, or at least Kriegel did with Teofimo, talking about his issues with whatever asthmatic issue that he had, or something that he could have died in the ring, whatever serious condition he had going into that fight with Kambosos. They're gonna throw in everything, right? But nonetheless, bro, you lost, okay? You can blame it on whatever the fuck happened, but you fucking lost, right? And you didn't look that great. So just take your shot. If you want, maybe, at some point down the line, Kambosos is going to move up to 140 maybe, and you can have your rematch then, and you can try to get that win back. But as of now, let it go. Just fucking move on already. Shit.
There you go, Andrew.
Bigger story here is, did you guys see Lopez's workout videos this last week, where it looks like, I think at the very end, I figured out, it looks like he's at the Jets training camp going on right now. Did any of you guys notice that?
No.
Oh,
Yeah, so he was doing like a lot of football training on his feet this week, or seeing him doing defensive back drills. And I was like, okay, if the young man is training for a fight, do you really want him on his off time to be doing
Right.
defensive back drills out with the New York Jets? Does that seem smart on their corner? I was like, come on, man. And what was funny? He's doing them with his hands up in a boxing position. I was like, how the fuck is this helping your body? It was just weird. It was really weird. But I started thinking about overtraining. That to me, that's the bigger story there is hopefully that's all for show. And he's not actually like, oh, I'm going to put in extra work so I'm totally ready, because then you're going to be probably over prepared for your fight coming up.
I think you're missing the bigger story, which is I wouldn't think Teofimo Lopez is a big enough name to even work out with the lowly empathetic Jets. But we could keep it there.
It happened. Yeah, it definitely happened. He was there.
Alexander Usyk versus Anthony Joshua rematch undercard. Let's see what Eddie Hearn has put together for us, shall we? We're gonna get Callum Smith. He returns.
Okay.
All right. Croatian heavyweight star Filip, can't pronounce that. There is literally no vowels in that name. That is all consonants. The chemical sign for boron is in there. Meets China's, another one. I could say his last name, Zhang.
Two undefeated.
Yeah, no, that's not bad for your co-main. You got Callum Smith. He puts butts in seats. This isn't horrible by Eddie Hearn standards. Rest of the card winds up. He's got a number 1 versus a number 2. And what else? That's about it. I that's all you need. 3 or 4 good fights. I mean, with names, they'll draw. I mean, I just don't see how this fight on August the 20th has any different outcome. I mean, it's just we're beating it into the ground, but
also that the heavyweight fight, you got 2 big power punchers. They're both undefeated. I don't know the size of the Croatian heavyweight, but the Zhang, isn't he like 7 foot? He's one of those.
He's a big motherfucker. He's like 6'7" or some shit, but he's a big dude. He's a huge motherfucker.
So this is another huge man we're adding. If he is to knock out this dude on the undercard, or just have a great heavyweight fight on the undercard of Usyk Joshua, you're adding another potential huge man to this heavyweight division. Something we've never seen before. They have maybe 4, 5 heavyweights in the top 10, because I think even Hellenius is top 10 now, that are 6'7" and above, or 6'6" and above. When we've never had this in the heavyweight division.
I don't think we've had it to this degree, because I mean, at one point we did have the Galatas and fucking the Michael Grants and the who else, the Klitschko's, right, and Lennox Lewis and whatnot. But like even
these are just 2 men at a time. Like Klitschko there at the same. We're talking 5 heavyweights at the same era. That's a big heavyweight division. Yeah, I'm going for Zhang. I would like to see.
It puts himself in a prime position if he comes away with a victory and it looks, I mean, somewhat impressive. If he comes out like mopping the floor with his opponent, then fucking fantastic. But like, this is how you promote fights. That's how people remember stuff. You put them on the same card, on the undercard of another. If we're gonna have like a welterweight main event, we're gonna have another welterweight fighter underneath it, and not necessarily the co-main event, but just in general, people will remember that shit. It's like, oh yeah, this guy was on the undercard. Like, they'll remember that, especially if you put on a good performance on that same card specifically. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to seeing Callum Smith return too, because I think he's at light heavyweight now. So another name to the light heavyweight division. Fuck yeah, I'm down. I think this is going to be his second fight at light heavyweight at this point. But seeing him back in the ring, because this is kind of the ongoing joke, right? The Canelo retirement plan: fight Canelo, get your ass handed to you, and call it a career. But he's coming back, and it's from the sounds of things, Caleb Plant is coming back as well. So and then at some point down the line, Billy Joe Saunders. But anyway, my point being that I'm glad that that we're going to see Callum Smith back and see how he does at light heavyweight.
There you go. Moving forward, Dana White stands firm that Mayweather-McGregor rematch talk is all bullshit, which means it's not. If you had to actually put out a press release, bro, not a good look. All right. The Sun reported the deal was very close to two sides attempting to patch up the remaining terms. McGregor is under contract with the UFC. The former UFC champion, blah, 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 blah. It's all bullshit. I love you, Dana. Those guys are just talking on social media like they do. Whatever the hell that tabloid is called is full of shit. Wow, the Sun. The Sun. Okay. The more he says no, the more I believe it, Miguel.
I don't believe it. Like, there are certain things that when I hear Dana White say, I know, like, the probability of this fight actually going down a second time, I think is pretty low. So I'm gonna have to believe what he says here. I think it is bullshit. I think it's just another way for. I mean, these guys they love the limelight, and Floyd in particular. So they're gonna try to say whatever the fuck they want to say to keep their names in there, in the media, and be as relevant as they can be. That doesn't involve them actually being in the fucking ring or octagon. So yeah, I'm gonna believe Dana White here. Dana White talks a lot of shit. We all know this, right? Some stuff he's on the money about, and sometimes he's not. This one, I think he's right on the bullseye. I don't think this fight is gonna. And I for the love of everything, of everything that's heavenly on this earth, please, I hope we don't get a rematch of this fucking fight. But I'm gonna agree with him here, and I do believe him. I think this is bullshit.
Andrew.
The well is starting to dry up for Floyd and these circus acts that he's trying to put together. I think soon you're going to hear the return of Floyd to boxing. I'm not saying he's going to go after
he could sell his belts, Andrew. We found an aftermarket for all his belts.
That won't come. That's the long game, though, because I don't think
it's true
that much right now. So I think he's going to return to the boxing. Even it's going to be a fixed fight. It's going to be I'm not looking for him to go after, Bivol or fucking Jamal Charlo at middleweight or anything like that. But these circus acts are done. Floyd lives the life where he cannot have a steady income. So until he gives up that life and you start seeing him sell some of his mansions and his car, he still posts fucking garage full of cars, mansions in 2-3 different cities. He hasn't made a check in how long? Eventually that Dubai-like lifestyle catches up to you. I'm sure he still has bills from jewelry companies coming in that have outstanding bills. Oh, I forgot. Oh, fuck. I walked into that place and just walked out with a bunch of IOUs. My bad. I forgot I did that. That's what they do to these young men because they know they're good for cash. These jewelry guys, they're looking at your fucking money on the internet. I was going to say the paper. Look at my age.
Funny.
You know what I mean? So they know everything what Floyd made that year, that day, that, fucking, they're crazy. Yeah, they're going to give, take it, take that, take this. And then they go and they sue him later on and they get all their money. So he still has that going on in his life. I think Floyd's coming back.
I'll tell you who Floyd's coming back against because De La Hoya is now praising Mayweather. He's a pioneer who's paving the way and leading the way. It's admirable. Wow, ass licker.
Hey, Lee, I was going to be a dick right now. I know it sounds stupid, but if I'm Ryan, I watch out about how many times you want to call out Floyd Mayweather. Floyd's that will what's the word? He'll scoop that low. Floyd will go there. Oh yeah, Floyd will be like, "Oh what? He's talking shit. I'll knock him out." And all of the PBC fans will be like, "Hell yeah, Floyd's gonna teach that youngster a lesson." Like, and for Ryan needs to watch out because he'll tell you to go to 147. He'll put the whole fight in his favor, and he's gonna call out your bluff. So yeah, dude, Lee, I was totally gonna go there. Ryan Garcia speaking Floyd's name one too many times. That might get Floyd to come out.
Miguel?
I think there's one more, circus exhibition fight left to be made, and that's Floyd and Jake Paul. I would not be surprised if they try to make that fucking circus of a thing just for the sake of a cash grab, which all circus fights are anyway. But I mean, this one specifically because, like you said, Andrew, the well really is drying, and they're like, shit, we're gonna have to break in case of emergency. Let's try to get this fight with Jake Paul done. They're gonna use the what was it, the footage of Paul stealing Floyd's hat or some shit and using that as some sort of backstory, right? The beef that they had from the Logan Paul fight. So I don't think Floyd is going to take even if he does take like a legitimate fight and it's against a legitimate opponent, but it's fixed, I still don't think he's going to go that route. I still think he's going to go over somebody that he can legitimately beat relatively easily, in Jake Paul. So I suspect that's going to be the last straw at that. When we see that happen, you can damn near guarantee that the well has dried up and they need a lot of fucking money and fast. Because I don't think Floyd is willing to take the kind of in Floyd's entire career, his skill, his fucking reflexes, his speed, everything in the ring he's had such an advantage over guys like head and shoulders above everybody else that he's never needed to really take risks in the ring because he really didn't need to. His skill was that much better than everybody else's that he didn't need to take risks. He didn't need to stand and bang with certain guys then when he didn't need it, when it didn't benefit him. I don't think he's going to do this outside of the ring. He's not going to put himself in a risky position. He's going to go for the easy cash grab and a fuck ton, and the easiest way he can do that. And it won't be fucking what's his name? It won't be McGregor. I suspect it's gonna be Jake Paul. I think that's the last circus fight that's gonna go down. And once that happens, we pretty much know that Floyd is going broke.
You sir are wrong.
No.
Macau, China next summer. Macau, Pacquiao versus Mayweather. I'm still banking on it. I'm not giving up on it. That is a Macau fight if I ever saw it.
And didn't Pacquiao just sign an exhibition fight?
Yes.
Coming back.
Yes, because he came in dead last in the Philippines. They forgot. Isn't that a song by somebody? You forgot about Eminem or somebody?
I think even if he would have won the presidency, he would have made a comeback.
Oh yeah, probably. There's really good money in it for him. That Philippines crowd just, it's tough work killing drug dealers and drug takers. It's really hard work, Andrew. He needs a little time off to go boxing. There you go. My political commentary for the day. Jermell Charlo. I want to fight De La Hoya, Benavidez, Andrade, Eubank, Golovkin, Tyson, a gorilla.
Galata, Shannon Briggs.
Fury. Yeah, no, I'd like the Klitschko's to come out of retirement. I'm the baddest human being on the planet. I can't argue it, Miguel. He could start calling out whoever he wants at this point.
This was kind of like the thing for a hot minute, like right before the summer. It was everybody just dropping names. That's pretty much what the fuck they're doing. This is pretty much what he's doing here. I want the first person he calls out is De La Hoya, right? Come on now. It's scroll back up here. I want to see the rest of those names again. All right.
Oh my God, De La Hoya, which is crazy.
Okay. Yeah, which
Benavidez, who just lost.
All right, that's
Boo Boo. Boo Boo's not that crazy.
Yeah, it's not the crazy. And these aren't,
Eubank's not crazy, and Golovkin's not crazy. I'll give him 3 out of the 5 that aren't crazy.
Wait,
Golovkin's going to retire.
I don't even know which Charlo is this. Which one are you talking about? The one.
This is the WBC champion. This is the one belt Charlo.
Gotcha. Okay. Benavidez, I'm on board. Andrade, I'm on board. Eubanks, oh fuck yeah, why not? He's not exactly a name, but at least not to the general public. So I wouldn't mind that. Golovkin, he should just leave De La Hoya out the fucking picture. By the time if let's say for the sake of argument he tries to fight these guys in this order, by the time he gets to Golovkin's already fucking in retirement home at this point. So Benavidez, Andrade, Eubanks, okay, I'm down for that. De La Hoya, Golovkin, hell no, just let it go.
You might as well say Roy Jones. Let's just keep layering names onto this.
De La Hoya just pulled out of an exhibition, you douchebag. What the fuck you calling out an old man for? You know what? I'm going to call out. Hey, you know what? I'll do an exhibition with De La Hoya. Fuck it. Let's go. Like, come on. What a dick. Leave him alone. Golovkin is in a retirement. Golovkin just said he's potentially set to retire. Now you want to call him out too? Get the fuck out of here. Eubank is fighting. Who's the other guy's son?
None? No. Yeah,
I don't remember who.
Yeah, you're right. It's the other son. Yes, in
Eubank
England. Yeah.
The other kid, they're all tattooed up. Welterweight division, I think. He's moving up.
Yes.
Connor Ben.
Yes, Ben. There you
Ben.
go. Eubank and Ben, I think, is already signed. So he's not. I mean, what are we doing here? We know.
Boo Boo. He's setting up a fight with Boo Boo.
It's classic PBC shit. Wait until the fight gets signed for somebody else and then call that person out.
That's right. Or in De La Hoya's case, until you fucking you're 52.
I don't know why there aren't crazier names on here. I mean, if you're going to put De La Hoya as your first pick, I mean, you might as well say Mike Tyson, Roy Jones. You know what? Floyd Mayweather, I'd like him to come out of retirement. I'd like that fight too. Sure. Just keep going, dude. You got one belt, and it's the WBC. You are living in the shadow of your brother. Bad. Who's actually got the talent in the family. You clearly don't. Oof. Clearly. That is crazy. Which takes us to our featured story. This past week, Jake Paul versus Hasim Rahman has been canceled due to, air quotes for the video people, weight issues. Where do we begin on this? I mean,
first off,
go ahead.
I'll throw it right back to you, but you got to say weight issue, but also there's inside Dana White being one of them saying that $1 million wasn't even made at the gate 1 week out, and his accountant is who told him he needs to back out or he's going to lose his ass on this fight financially.
Yeah, it's funny because prior to that, Showtime was doing we're backing Jake Paul all the way. Way to go, Steven Espinosa. Can't sell tickets. You're canceling the fight a week before based on weight. If this fight was for real, I don't think anybody gives two craps about what weight these two guys fight at. It reeks of Jake Paul's got the COVID. I mean, that's what I titled the show. But here we are again, Miguel. Same old song and dance. Can't sell a ticket. Fight gets canceled.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I guess to some degree, there's a little bit of credit to be given for creativity. They didn't want to like completely blame COVID because I'm sure everybody been like, what is seeing right through that.
They could have gone monkeypox. That would have been new.
Right, exactly. Yeah, somebody got monkeypox. Let's go ahead and paint some spots on one of these guys and call it a day. But yeah, I mean, hey, they went to the excuse of the weight loss issue. I remember seeing Hasim Rahman Jr. on I think it was the Boxing Voice or the Boxing. I forget the name of those dudes. Those guys. And he's basically in the studio and he's like, yeah, the weight isn't a problem. I can guarantee you, I'm gonna make the weight. Yada yada. So he's having a confidence. Fuck, I don't think he would have done that if the weight really would have been that big of a deal. But maybe he was just bluffing. Who the fuck knows? But he was basically going off about like, yeah, the weight's no problem. I'm definitely gonna make the weight. That shouldn't be a problem. I've done it before. I fought at this weight when I was, in my earlier career or amateur, yada yada. So I'm sure I can still make it. So he made it clear that the weight would not be a problem. Either he was lying through the fucking teeth, or he was just basically bluffing. But
Miguel,
yes,
you're right. You're absolutely right about him lying through his teeth. That was their plan. They were going to pull a boxing 101, get to the week of the fight, get on the scale. He can't back out type deal. Okay. The young man. That's why I said it's so important to watch the video of Hasim Rahman. Sometimes the best thing to do is to shut the fuck up. And that's what Hasim Rahman should have done in this case. He should never have posted his reason for this fight not happening. And Lee, are you going to go ahead and play that? I'm going
to play it right now. Exclusive from Fight Hub TV, or at least they put it up online. So shout out to Fight Hub. They do get good videos.
I campaign at Bridgerweight, or otherwise known as heavyweight outside of the WBC. Now look, I signed a contract to make 200 pounds within the 3 or 3.5 weeks that I had to do it, but I couldn't do it. My body simply would not let me do it, would not let me get down to 200 pounds.
By the way, if you're looking at this like this Zapruder film, like I am, and I do have sound now, he's already like giving him an out right there.
Yeah.
Big bad move.
Where in boxing do y'all see them canceling fights a whole week in advance? I didn't even get my last week to get down as low as I could. I told this man, it's penalties involved. Keep the purse. Keep the purse. I fight you for the $5,000 minimum. That's how much it means to me, and that's how much faith I have in not.
Hold on, that was awesome. I don't know if that actually happened, but good on him.
Knocking him out. I would have beat this man.
Yeah, go ahead, Andrew.
When he said, when do you ever hear of them canceling fights a week before? They didn't even give me a chance to get as low as I could. As I could. So you're never gonna make
it's the limbo, Andrew.
Right. How low can you go?
With one hand, just like I did in the gym. But let him tell it. He already beat my ass in the gym when I was 230. So if you beat me up while I was 230, what's the problem in fighting me while I'm 215? What's the problem fighting me at 210? It's clearly
because on fight night you'll be 245. I'm just thinking outside the box, but if you're not going to make weight, you're coming in as a heavyweight against the guy who's probably about $195.
And Lee, what about the fact that you signed the contract? It's not like Jake Paul's fucking forcing you to lose weight, jerk. You signed a contract.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You agreed to the terms. End of story. Fuck.
Yep.
Them not wanting to fight. It's not me pulling out the fight. It's them not wanting to fight. I never said that I didn't want this fight. And the only thing that I can conclude is that they scared. I mean, they tried to drain me down. I told them, look, I ain't going to be able to get all.
Whoa. Of course that's what they were doing. What? Are you the only one who figured that out? Like they're taking a heavyweight and water dropping him, so it's a fight.
And you knew that when you signed the fucking contract.
Right.
So quit playing stupid shit.
Way down to cruiserweight. I mean, it was a astronomical feat in and of itself from the beginning. From the beginning, when they called me to spar him for Anderson Silva, I told them what my weight was. They knew what my weight was, and they knew I was gonna have to lose about a pound a day for 30 days in order to make 200 pounds. Now, with all that aside, still, if I wasn't able to make the weight, they knew that we had a replacement on the side the whole time. He's been doing everything I've been doing this whole camp. The Muslim boxer, Muslim Kaysen, who campaigns at cruiserweight, who wouldn't have to have drained himself, who could have saved the show. And Jake Paul could have fought a real boxer, but he don't want to fight a real fighter.
Yes, Andrew?
And that's where they killed themselves. They pulled a gun out and shot themselves right there. What the fuck? We had a plan fucking B? Oh, so that's
in the contract. It's in the contract.
Our plan is we're going to go out there, not make weight, try to strong arm them into fighting us, not making the contract weight. And then if they don't want to take the weight, well, look, we got this dude, fight him. Come here, bro. Come here, fight this guy. Fight this. What? How unprofessional were the Rockman family during all of this? One, his lawyer, they don't have a lawyer because he would have told, I'm not even a lawyer, bro. And I know I would have told you to shut the fuck up. I'm serious. This is the stupidest excuse I've ever heard. Everything that you just said on this video is incriminating in the fact that when I argue for you, you sound like the guy that pulled out. You sound like the guy that was being dirty. You sounded like a liar. You sounded like you were trying to set them up to go on that fucking scale 15 pounds heavier than what you signed for. And actually, it was 15 because I was going to say it was supposed to be 190. But I think the first, you know what? It was. I believe the first weight was supposed to be 190, you guys. And then they were like, dude, he's never going to fucking make that weight. Then Jake Paul said, we'll give him 200. Then they wanted 205. Then they said he's not even going lower than 215. There was many weight things that played into effect here. Jake Paul is in my opinion, because of Rockman's stupid fucking video, I have to say Jake Paul is correct in canceling this fight. They were going to try to fucking Don King his ass. You want to know who Rockman's affiliated with? Don motherfucking King, and hats off to the fucking Paul brothers for being smart enough to pull that shit out. Yes, sir.
And
Even
and,
though
and
they
how did this come out? Like, who found out? Like, was it Rockman's team that flat out came out and said, "Hey, I'm not going to make the weight," or like? Because here's the thing, like,
I
if we're
got
if
that
we're
answer. I
Well,
got
what's
that
up?
answer. You want it?
Yes.
The New York Commission was monitoring Rockman's
Oh.
weight, and they told him, they said, we need video of your weight. And in 3 weeks, Rockman only lost 1 pound. So they went to the Pauls and Jake, I believe. They said, Jake, he's not losing weight in a significant time. He's not gonna be healthy if he makes 200, or most likely he's never gonna reach 200. And that's when they said, fuck you, we're out.
Hold on. I think we're missing the bigger story here that Don King is now generationally signing fighters into slavery. I don't know how you let that part of the story slide.
I think it's just his way of doing business that Rockman, his father, came up with. I think it's Don King's fingerprints all over.
Yeah. It's like Rockman was
No,
like,
I
oh
like
shit,
it the way
worked
I
for
said
it
it.
worked
It's
for
much
King.
funnier.
Like, let's see if it works for us. We're gonna try to pull that shit
Right.
off.
They tried to pull Van
I'm sticking
Duzel
with
on.
my story, which is way more amusing. Let's see what Jake Paul had to say about the fight, shall we?
Yes.
Hey folks, emergency press conference. You may have seen the news. Hasim Rockman Jr. has pulled out of the fight. This is not a joke. I am devastated. I cannot
You
believe
look
this.
devastated.
Just found out this news. And this is just another case of a
I had to
professional
slap my
boxer,
girlfriend.
just
I
like
couldn't
Tommy
believe it.
Fury, being scared to fight me. It's as clear as day that these guys have been so unprofessional to work with, looking for any excuse to suck more money out of this event, to coerce us into doing things. And from the jump, I knew in the bottom of my heart that this guy didn't want to get into the ring with me. It's as clear as day. Here's what happened, long story short. So he signed a contract to fight me at 200 pounds and was going to cut the weight down to 200 pounds. This is not a big cut for him, right?
Pause it.
He's a big guy.
Okay.
We have to pause it, because if we're gonna rip Rockman, we gotta rip him too. He's a liar when he says he was scared to get in the fucking ring. He was not scared. At 200 pounds, he wanted to cheat. He wanted to be a cheat. I would have called him a cheater before I would say he was scared. He was gonna knock your ass out. Believe that. At 215, Rockman was gonna knock Jake Paul the fuck out, and that's why they're canceling this fight. At 200, they have a way better shot at beating him. That I totally agree with that. Not scared though. I would say he's wrong for saying that.
Miguel.
Oh, I didn't have anything to say. It was just, I was saying that for Andrew.
Ton of weight to
Yeah, no worries.
lose. So he sent a video into the commission the first time he weighed in at 216 pounds. The commission wanted to track his weight cut to make sure he was doing it in a healthy way. 3 weeks later, the commission asked him for an update on his weight. He sends a video weighing 215 pounds, meaning in 3 weeks, he only lost 1 pound. So the commission was like, hey man, you're not cutting the weight properly. We don't want you to lose it all in the last day. We're gonna have to change this fight to 205 pounds. My team calls me up. They're like, hey, man, do you want to change? They want to change the weight to 205 pounds. That's a big difference. You normally fight at 190 pounds. Do you want to do the fight still? I said, no problem. Let's do it. 205 pounds. He already has a weight advantage, height advantage, reach advantage, all of these things. But whatever. I know I can still beat his ass at 205 pounds. And that was that. We move forward. And then today, out of nowhere, his team calls and says, Hasim's not going lower than 215 pounds. If the fight's not at 215 pounds, then we're pulling out. My manager goes, F you guys, you're not in control of this. We already agreed to 5 more pounds. He is a big guy, losing 10 pounds. Everyone knows in the sport of boxing that is an easy weight cut. People do that. UFC champions cut 25.
No, it's not an easy weight cut.
I know. I know.
5 pounds overnight to make weight. A 10-pound weight cut for a heavyweight.
It's really hard. What a
Especially,
this is
it's really douchey.
especially if you look at Hasim. You know, another thing I think they did wrong, and I know his religion probably won't allow it, but if he would have cut his beard off, that guy's cheekbones were already sticking through. He wasn't going any lower. He looked like a very unfit heavyweight in the video that he did show. The 215, I think, was the lowest they were going to go, and they
I
always
think
knew.
they were shooting. I think they were shooting for 210. It sounds more like a negotiation. We can only do 215. You want 205? Let's cut the difference at
There you go.
210. And Jake's promoter went, "Yeah, no, f you."
That very
That's-
well could be. That very
That's
well.
the way it really sounds. Like I think he could have made 210. Five, I would believe.
5
10
more
is,
pounds.
oh my gosh, it really gets hard. It really does
Clearly
get
an
hard.
excuse. So they say, okay, the fight's not at 215, we're out. The biggest payday of his life times 10, and he's fumbling it.
Doesn't have anything to do with the fact he didn't sell tickets, Jake. I'm just thought I'd ask out loud, but all right.
What? Because he knows he's gonna get knocked out by me. The pressure starts to set in, and it's exactly what happens with all of these guys. Same shit with Tommy Fury. I'm sick of it. I'm devastated. I apologize to everyone.
I
on the
guarantee
undercard.
there are
Amanda
plenty of
Serrano, I know
200
you were
pounders that'll
working hard.
fight you.
Ashton Silva, I know you're working hard. This is absurd. There's nothing I can do about it. I apologize to the fans, and I'll.
Who was really looking for this fight? Other than you looking for, like, here's the part I call bullshit on. The only people looking for this fight was him. I mean, so that he had some level of credibility. I mean, that's the bottom line, right, Miguel?
Yeah, I mean the fact that he took the fight, everybody was like, "Oh shit, okay," because when it was first announced that I already forgot who the hell his previous opponent was supposed to have been, but like the fact that Rockman Jr. stepped in. And I was like, oh shit, okay, now it's kind of different. Now it's a big deal. Now it's a little bit of a different circumstance, and that was kind of the thing that I almost for at least for a quick second I was like, all right, I'm gonna give Jake some fucking credit. He's gonna take on a guy who's a boxer who's got more experience, who's who's coming a second generation boxer. It's like, oh shit, cool, right? It's gonna be a credibility thing. It's like, okay, he knows he's gonna look, or he would have looked like a real bitch if he pulled out once that the first fight fell through and Hasim Rahman Jr. stepped in. But it was really that, like, it's like, all right, this is my opportunity. He's still training for the fight nonetheless. He's still in training camp, and he's like, all right, this is my chance to show people that I'm legit to try to beat, Rahman, and fell through anyway.
Andrew.
There's a few things that play in here. Okay, first thing I want to say is, do you see how that video actually worked in Rockman's favor if he would have just shut up? If he would have just shut up and let Paul bury himself, there was nobody took that video and was like, yeah, Paul, you're right. If you guys look at the comments under all of those videos that he released, dude, he was getting eaten fucking alive. You're a joke. You never wanted to face a boxer. This was a scam from the very beginning, just over and over. There was like 1 out of 10 that was, oh, I believe you, Paul. And then the kid drops his video next, and it's like, when you listen to Rockman, it's like, dude, how do you even walk away even thinking Paul had anything else but to cancel this fight? No, I could have swore we all said it last week when Jake Paul said, I'm going to be a champ at 175. Did Fight Net Radio not go, well, why the fuck are we fighting a heavyweight? Did we not say that?
Yeah, hell yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did. We were all like, dude, this is weird that he's taking on a heavyweight if his goal is to go to 175. So he never wanted to fight a heavyweight. He was going to try to get this guy to starve himself. You know what's funny is that picture right there. Good job. You can see Rockman's already lying. He looked nervous from the very beginning. Now when I look at his pictures, I know that the kid already knows there was a fucking plan from the very beginning. He wasn't being truthful right there in this photo. Don King has already told his father, oh, baby, just sign the fight, baby. Don't come in at the weight. They'll fine you. You guys will get fined. The fight will go on. Your guy will have the advantage. Boom. They thought they had it. They're like, and then I love how he even puts, and then we had, my friend would have fought him. My friend, why not fight him? Like, come on, dude, how unfucking professional this whole thing was. I do believe, agree with Dana that they need to get a boxing guy in the Jake Paul camp, someone that's put together fights. This is his second fight that's fallen through. It's not a good look. Another not good look that I gotta go in on. Amanda fucking Serrano in New York. Look, I told you guys, Katie Taylor was the one that sold that fucking fight. Don't give me this bullshit. And now Amanda Serrano can't hold a fucking main event in her own city where she had the greatest fight of all time for a woman fighting in New York? Are you serious right now, New York? You didn't back your fucking girl up? Katie Taylor is the star of women boxing.
There you go. Well, as a side note, congratulations to Steven Espinosa on losing out. I'm sure you spent money on promotion and flying people around and upfront money. And once again, your fights are just killing it, bro. Killing it. Oh, Espinosa.
I'm gonna probably look in to see if Donnie's even attached to Rockman. Maybe it's not even a phone call. He might even be attached to him. I just never knew it. But this
please let me know if the slavery angle plays in, because that would make me very happy in a strange way. Let's turn to Saturday night. Miguel watched all the fights. Let's start with Gary Russell's TKO win and controversial stoppage that made YouTube blow up my cell phone. All right, Miguel. Why was it bullshit, per your words?
Well, the stoppage in particular, the fight was pretty close. I mean, it was Russell who was winning. It was pretty clear that he was, getting the better hand or getting the upper hand, and he was, at least on my scorecard, he was ahead. And then I forget what round it was. I think it was the sixth. He drops Barthélemy. He drops him right, and it kind of like comes in lunging with like a right hook that I believe catches Barthélemy like kind of like on his temple, and it kind of like throws him off balance. Right, he falls over. It's a legitimate knockdown. He gets up a little bit wobbly, and the referee does the mandatory 8 count and then says like come walk to me, and it appears as though Barthélemy does, right, and you can see the referee is looking into fucking Barthélemy's eyes, and then he kind of looks concerned, and then he waves it off, and then Barthélemy's like, what the fuck, and he's like putting his hands up, he's like, what the shit. So it was totally a bullshit stoppage. He didn't look that hurt. Yes, it was a legitimate knockdown. He got caught, clean, but he got up. It seemed as though he was responding. He was nodding yes to what appeared to be. I mean, you can't get close enough to hear what the hell they're saying, but the referee clearly was asking him questions, and it looked like Barthélemy was responding. He was nodding his head, saying yes, and then he just fucking stopped it. Like, what the hell? So Barthélemy's corner goes off the fucking wall, and they get hella pissed, and they're like, talking all this mad shit as they jump into the ring and everything. But it was really a bullshit stoppage. At least give the dude, another opportunity. It was really bad. Like it looked kind of blatant. Like when I saw that, I was like, wait a second, this is pretty fucking fishy. But yeah, total bullshit stoppage. I definitely think Barthélemy could have continued. It seemed as though he was responding, so there really was no need to stop that fight at that moment.
Andrew.
I absolutely agree. That it was one of the worst stoppages in a long time, Lee. The guy, Barthélemy, gets up. His hands are up. He looks fine. Now, is he 100%? Probably not. He just got knocked down on a legit drop. But there was no reason to stop the fight. Very weird. Why the ref? We need an explanation. Really, this shouldn't go away without that ref having to explain himself on what he's seen, on why he stopped the fight. I know they were screaming rematch right away. That's a tough one. I don't know if it generated that many views or that much. It's going to make that much money to actually get Barthélemy a rematch. If anything, I think his name he's a gatekeeper, so he'll stay exactly there. He wasn't going to get a big title shot. He wasn't going for nothing huge if he got this victory anyways. So it's a win-win for him. It was a close fight. He was losing. I didn't have him winning either. But the stoppage is just pathetic. It was like they robbed this man. They robbed him of a chance to getting a victory. Now he wasn't ahead, but he wasn't bleeding. His eyes weren't swollen. It wasn't like, oh yeah, it was a mercy stop. No, it was just weird. It was like I told Miguel, it was like that ref had somewhere to go, man. He was like, he took the first opportunity. He was like, nah, I'm out of here. I got a wedding to go to. What the fuck?
Yeah, I gotta hop in the shower real quick. Let's get this shit over with.
In the next bout, Ali Aaron outworks Adam Kownacki, who is now officially, he's got to be done, right? Like he's got to be done, right? He's got to be done, right? He's got to, like, Kownacki's got to go away, Andrew.
Yeah, it should be over. Hats off to the PBC. Maybe one of the best promotional jobs they've done is with this Kownacki kid. Tremendous following, Lee. The guy he's never been a champ. He's knocked out twice in big matches on pay-per-view undercards. Last night he gets a fucking cheer that made you feel like you were why. Matter of fact, I do believe his cheer was louder than the main event because so many people leave after he takes his
The
defeat.
Polish
It was like his
people, Andrew. The Polish people.
Yeah,
I mean,
they were gutted. They were gutted. They didn't care about the fucking main event. Their guy just lost for his third consecutive time. And you've seen people actually leaving the stands as the interview was going on at the end of the fight. And when Danny's fight happens, there's gaps in the stands where they never some of those the Kawanaki fans did not return to their seats. It was a good fight. He's an exciting fighter. It sucks the way boxing is. He has 3 losses, and they're like, "Are you going to retire? Are you done?" I mean, it was still an exciting fight, a close fight. Does he belong on TV? Probably not. Does he belong, nowhere near the top 10? None of that. Can he work his way up, fighting over there, selling out little arenas? Do the Lee Harnish game plan? Absolutely, and probably make a decent living.
in Chicago. In Chicago every month. Come try to knock out Adam Kaunaki.
And find other young talent there that you can get a good following on too. He's got to be able to work that angle because damn, his fan base is loyal.
Miguel.
It wasn't just the fact that he lost the third time. It's the fact that 2 of those losses were knockouts to the same dude, and now losing to I can't pronounce his name. We'll call him Ali. This guy Ali Urin. He looked. Man, I mean, not that he's ever really looked on his toes, but he looked flat. He looked like he was really pushing his punches. There was no snap in them. I believe they said he came in lighter in this fight than he has in his previous one. So shape, he should have been in good shape. Maybe he overtrained. Maybe he lost too much weight because he looked pretty flat. It looked like his punches didn't have enough snap, and he was taking a lot of shots. He could not seem to get out of the way of the simplest fucking jab right hand that Ali Urin threw. Like every jab right hand he fucking threw, he landed. It's like, God damn it, dude. And you can tell, you can see the damage that it did. He had like a cut over that left eye, and he was just like, God damn it, man. He couldn't seem to get out of that fucking right hand. So it didn't look good for him. His reaction time, he takes an ass whooping anyway, right? We've seen his fights with Ariola and Helenius, so it's not like taking a punch is anything new to him necessarily, but it just didn't seem like he was able to inflict the same kind of damage that they did in the previous opponents with Ali here. So. And Ali himself is no joke. He's an Olympian, if I'm not mistaken, and he was the first guy to take, what's his name, Hogba, that big black dude, the full distance, the full 10 rounds. He was the first guy to go 10 rounds with him. So this guy, he's a very, as an opponent, a formidable opponent. This guy was no slouch himself, and he came in and he handled his fucking business. So after the fight, I believe they asked Kawanowski if he is planning to call it a day, because prior to that fight, he did say like, yeah, this might be it if and we mentioned it last week, right? Him saying that this is probably it. This is a crossroads type of fight if he loses, and turns out he does lose. And Jim Gray asked him after the fight if this is it, and he said, I'm going to go back and spend time with my kids and talk to my wife and think about it. So it seems like he's already going in that direction, which is good, because like if you're gonna go in there and take a ass whooping, at the very least come out with the victory so you can have another big payday down the line. But if you're starting to get ass whoopings and not win, you're just basically taking ass whoopings for the sake of taking ass whoopings. So I hope this is it. I hope he does call it a career. But to echo what Andrew was saying, man, he's got that fucking following. Holy shit, man! I mean, people will follow him anywhere for fuck's sake. So yeah, it sucks that this is gonna have to be it. But yeah, I think this is pretty much it because he did not look good last night.
Well, I would say this: Adam Kaunaki could be the modern day Tommy Morrison. Doesn't matter if you win or lose. To quote Tommy Morrison, the late Tommy Morrison, number 1, get AIDS. Number 2, I put butts in seats. So, Adam, get to work, buddy. Get to work. Yeah, nobody's going to back me on that one. Danny Garcia moves to 154 with a decision over Jose Benavidez. 2 judges scored at 116, 112. 1 judge scored at 117, 111. And 1 judge who was clearly not at the fight scored at 114, 114. So you guys are lunatics and score fights. Miguel, how'd you score the fight?
I had the ones at 117, 111, and that was being generous. I was looking for rounds to give to Benavidez, really. Quite honestly, neither of these guys looked good. I don't think either of these guys are natural 154 pounders. And me and Andrew were texting back and forth in regards to this
Yes,
fight.
you were.
It was, I did have, Garcia winning nonetheless, of course. I don't know what the fuck that judge was watching that had it 114. I don't know how. I mean, thought I was being generous with giving them the 117, 111, scorecard, but man, it was bad. As far as Benavidez goes, that leg, I mean, his footwork is so compromised from that, that bullet that he got in the leg. You can tell that he knew that he was going to take an ass whooping in this fight. He knew that his footwork wasn't, up to par. He talked about it being 110% prior to the fight, yada yada, and I'm sure that's just talk, because in the ring, his footwork was terrible. Like, he basically was a sitting duck. He knew that he could not step out of the way of the shots. He could not take a step back and maybe bob and weave. So he just basically put his hands up and took the shots. He blocked. He did very good. You can tell his face didn't take a lot of punishment, and for that matter, neither did Danny's. But nonetheless, like, he basically did a good job of just basically bringing his hands up and taking shots and blocking them, because he didn't have the legs to hop out of the way. And also, like, his offense, it seemed as though he wasn't able to jump in and out the way he wanted to. So whenever he did leap in, he would try to throw 2, 3, 4 punches to get them out, because he knows that he's not going to be able to get out of the way in time for the counters. So once he jumps in, he throws his combo, and then he brings his hands up. You can tell that he's compromised. That leg is an issue, and it sucks for him, because, like, he's trying to make the comeback, right? He's trying to make it seem like he's got more left in the tank, but maybe, in his mind, in his heart, and his age, he can still do it. But man, those legs are just not responding. As far as Garcia goes, this was basically supposed to be a test at 154. He's going to see how he feels at 154, and he decided to take on a guy who himself is not naturally 154 pounder, at least not from his previous fights, because I recall Benavidez being a lighter fighter. So you can tell that the power just doesn't seem to be there for Danny. It looked like, he had a sitting duck in front of him and he couldn't take him out. It didn't look like he had the kind of power to be able to hurt Benavidez. I don't think he has the power at 154 to hurt anybody else, unless it's another, smaller guy maybe. But this is just that fight that I talked about earlier, right? It's the win this one and then look good later on the next one. And maybe he just needed to win this fight here at his debut at 154 to kind of put himself on the map and be like, all right, y'all, I got myself a victory under my belt, at 154. Now time to fight all these other guys. It was obvious from the commentators that they were really pushing for a potential fight with him and Charlo down the line. Two PBC guys, more often than not, we're going to get a 12 rounder. So that's most likely what's going to end up happening. But I mean, damn it, Garcia did not look great. I mean, he didn't look bad, but it just did look like he had his pop was gone at 154. I'm not sure if he has enough power to stay there, but hey, there's where he's at now. And he got himself a victory. He did his toes, I guess, at 154 at this point, and now he's officially a junior middleweight. So let's see where this takes him. But man, it did not look good. It was not an impressive victory at all.
Andrew.
I didn't have it a draw. I didn't have Benavidez winning, but I clearly did not have it 6-0 going into round 7. I thought Steve Farhood's scorecard was absurd.
As was boxing. By the way, I saw Boxing Scene, and they had it scored the same way.
Let's put some things out here. Jose Benavidez is not a PBC fighter. Jose Benavidez hasn't had a win, I believe, since 2018. He lost to Terrence Crawford in a draw on his comeback from this gunshot wound that kept him out of the ring for 2 years. 2 years. They thought his career was over. He comes back. He's never been the same. Danny knew this going into the fight. They all know. We all know this. Had Danny winning the fight, I did not have Danny winning by majority decision. And I'm sorry. I think the scoring speaks for itself. You're talking about a PBC promoted, Al Heyman thrown, Showtime delivered fight. This is Danny. The commentators, I knew Jose didn't have a shot when I'm listening to this fucking fight. If they're not talking about Danny's accomplishments, they're talking about his past knockouts, and they're talking about what he is doing in the ring. Not what he was doing wrong, but what he was doing right. What I'll say about what he was doing wrong, he had no head movement last night. he ate so many jab right hands. It was fucking pathetic. You got to remember, I believe it's Benavidez' right leg that was shot. Am I correct? Miguel, do you remember which leg was shot on Benavidez?
I don't. I remember him wearing a brace on it when he fought Crawford. I want to say it's his right. I want to say it's right. I could be wrong though, but I want to say it's his right leg.
It seemed like his right leg could not keep up with Danny. Why didn't Danny Garcia work angles on him to play his weakness to his advantage? The only thing that I could come up with was this was a PBC. David Benavidez is his brother kind of matchup where they were just making money, you guys. Like when Danny started running around the ring in the 12th round and then started doing that little bounce around him and made Jose Benavidez look slow as fuck because he couldn't keep up. Where the fuck was that for the last 12 rounds? You guys didn't know how to use a peg leg. He basically has a peg leg in the ring. You couldn't beat that more convincingly than a majority decision in your own fucking city? Or not in your own city, but that's a Danny's fight, man. All the people in the crowd are there to see you. The promotional company's backing you. Benavidez, he's not even a PBC stable. He might fight for them, but he's not one of the PBC guys like Danny is. And you get a majority decision, and I'm supposed to fucking think you're going to have any shot against Jermell Charlo? No. I see him trying to work that fight. They're going to do a pay-per-view. It would have made sense if Danny would have looked good. Oh, yeah, Danny Garcia, Jermell, pay-per-view. That's a PBC pay-per-view fight all day. Didn't look that great. I was not impressed with his defense, with his power, with his movement. But to be honest with you, I don't know if Danny was doing that as a favor to Jose. I really don't. Jose bearing very pop shotting. They kept saying he's not committing enough. Yeah, well, you do that when you're sparring. It's called light sparring. That's called.
Yeah,
and
you go 12 rounds with the PBC. That's kind of the thing.
That's the thing, bro. That's why yes, man. Yeah, and that's when in that 12th round, Miguel, I got a real bad feeling. When I seen Danny do the jogging thing, I thought he was totally mocking the kid. I really did. I think he knew exactly what he was doing. That jog ended that man's life. It didn't kill him, but it ended Jose Benavidez was hell better than David at the point when he gets shot. He's with a better promotional company. He's undefeated. He don't have all the tattoos, and he really absorbed the thug look when that bullet entered his leg. He really did. It's like the bullet brought the gang life to him, because he wasn't that kid before that. Another thing I want to tell young fighters, you got to learn off of Jose Benavidez. Stay humble when you're boxing. When you're special, when you have special talents, when you're the youngest signed fighter in Nevada history, and you got Top Rank backing you at 17 years of age, stay real humble, man. Because that one bullet ended everything for him. It didn't kill him, but it ended his life. Life is going to get extremely hard for Jose once boxing is done, because it seems like he gave everything to the sport, and these fuckers took it away from him very early. So yeah, that was about Danny's future at 154. Big question mark. You know, he called out Lara. I would rather see him take on another 154 pounder, get adapted to the weight, maybe put in a real effort. I still got to think he wasn't working angles because he knew the young man is a peg leg, and he was just everyone's just making money. They're robbing the bank.
Yeah, they even offered him Harrison, right? Harrison was ringside, and that's what Jim Gray said. It's like, Harrison was ringside. And he's like, you want to try him? And he's like, oh yeah, and he's like, well, we'll see. And then he started naming everybody else, but Harrison is like, all right, bro. Obviously, he's gonna try to avoid his ass. But yeah, I mean, it immediately went to Laura. He mentioned someone else too. I can't remember who else specifically, but I mean, him against any one of those other guys would be interesting. But I mean, he just, man, he didn't do himself any favors last night with that fucking lackluster win.
There you go.
And Harrison didn't do any favors when you sit there and go, man, I love Danny, man. Oh, I love Danny Garcia, man. Come on, bro. We want to see a fight, not a fucking sparring match.
Right. It was an 8-1 fight. Going into the fight, it was an 8-1 fight. Like, is anybody shocked by the outcome?
No, not really.
No.
Just thought I'd say it out loud
No.
for the room. Betting always tells the tale of how the fight's going to be. Very rarely is the betting wrong. Just saying it for the room. Hey, go to boxingtonight.io where you can follow us on multiple forms of social media. He's at Fight Fiend Migs. I'm at Lee Honish IO. Both of us on YouTube. Follow us all on Facebook. We enjoy doing it. Midweek, I think I will get the 6 rounds of boxing. I'll try to gather these two up to do a watch along, which we have never, like, it's been so long since we've done a watch along that I just want to try a watch along because it's been so long to try to do a watch along. So we'll try that midweek. Tune in, make sure you're subscribed, click like, share, all that good stuff. We actually appreciate all of you for listening and watching our videos. Boop, boop, boop. Where are you? Yeah, bonus for you guys on the internet listening to the podcast. This is me clicking buttons.